Hello, I'm Fabrice DeClerck. I'm a program leader here at Bioversity International. I lead the program on agroecological intensification and risk management. Yeah, so we're very excited. We have two new books that are being released on April 12th on ecology and the role of ecology in poverty alleviation, which takes a very careful look at what the role of ecology is in alleviating poverty or addressing the Millennium Development Goals. We wrote the books because we felt as ecologists that we're typically thought of as working in biodiversity conservation. But we really realized that as ecologists we have, I think, a much more integrated view of the world, a much more systems way of thinking about problems, and that many of the problems that the world's poor are faced with are directly tied to environmental problems and have ecological solutions, or at least an ecological contribution to those solutions. There's several, I think, very key examples. The first one is nutrition, and it's this idea of eco-nutrition, and that is that you can't address these malnutrition issues by simply giving people vitamin A pills or inserting vitamin A into a grain of rice, but it's a much more integrated problem. That environmental degradation is critically tied to agricultural productivity, that agricultural productivity is critically tied to human health. And I think that that's where biodiversity really has a very strong role in terms of understanding how these mixed cropping systems, or how this very rich suite of species that we have contributes to human nutrition. So when we look at a field, does that field contain vitamin A? Does that field contain protein? Does that field contain folic acid and iron and all those critical elements, rather than simply the carbohydrate production that we see in many of these single species based systems, or these very singular targeted systems. Here at Bioversity International we have a new strategy, and part of that strategy is really trying to understand not only how we conserve agrobiodiversity, but how we can use that to address these critical issues. And I think that that's where it ties in quite nicely to this book, because the idea is ecology isn't just about conservation reserves, it's about making use of ecology to address these critical problems.